if you've been around this channel much, you know I'm not much of a talking over video footage kind of guy, but also because of the timeliness of this video, and I've been putting out a bunch of other content, I did want to get something out there before, this video is irrelevant, to be honest with you. So yeah, what do I think that's going to happen tomorrow? I think, cut to the chase, it's going to be open beta. That's my suspicion. Open beta with a release date and the ability to pre-order. That's my prediction. Plain and simple. Is it what I would prefer happens tomorrow? Well, it depends, right? I think based on what I saw in Tech Test 1, which was in October, versus Tech Test 2, which was early May, the game went through a lot of changes. There were little subtle things that upon reviewing footage from that time period, which is non-shareable, as well as obviously what I was able to play and review in the tech test side by side. There's a lot of little things, and then there's some big things, right? The talent tree and the way they redid the armor system with the augments and all of those things. So to see where the game was in October compared to where it is in, now or earlier, beginning of last month, a month ago, I'm glad they spent the time to make the changes that they did because they were extremely meaningful. To that end, a tech test and then a beta and the window of a month, we're probably going to expect significantly less major changes, right? Obviously, it's based on feedback, and they've already expressed that the general consensus or feedback was better than they expected, right? When they had their shareholder call. So overall, my suspicion is there's not going to be a drastic amount of change like what we saw between Tech Test 1 and 2. Now, another thing I will note is from a content perspective, there were things like the community event that existed in the first tech test where everybody was collecting resources, and once it hit a certain threshold on a progress bar, ultimately then this bunker opened up and everyone was rushing towards it. From their perspective, an amazing way to have people concentrate PvP to get a bunch of data about close quarters PvP. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe it's why they not. But regardless, that didn't even exist at all in the second tech test. When Clean was discussing with the game designer, their general feedback, it almost sounded dismissive or like they removed that component from the game. I'm not convinced. But the real big question is, how much content is there in the game? So when it goes to what would I prefer, my preference is that if there's significantly more content or even 50% more content than existed in the second tech test, I'm totally fine with the release tomorrow, which is probably not going to happen. But if it's the same, my feeling is, if it's the same maps and everything like that, I would prefer they take a little bit more time. Again, let's just be clear, like beta doesn't necessarily, in my mind, beta is a complete product, or maybe it's a snapshot of the complete product. But one thing it did not do is allow, obviously, everybody in. Like an open beta will really get an even larger sample size of folks. So my suspicion is they're going to come out with an open beta tomorrow. They're going to put a release date on the map. They're going to collect a lot of data from that beta. They're going to allow people to pre-order at $40, assuming, and then they'll take whatever data they get from the open beta, which will probably have more content, and improve the final product. I think they've spent, they announced this originally in 2021, right? They've spent so much time on this game. Like, no offense, but like, what is a couple of months? And this is coming from an alcoholic, right? Like, what is a couple of months? It's better that they do it right. I would prefer that they do not release it in early access. I have early access fatigue at this point in my life. I've played a lot of half-cooked games, and by the time, every time they release a new update, I have to start from scratch again, and I have to, the younger me loved that. I wanted to see something before it was cooked because it was the new latest greatest thing, and I was dying for something different. And Don't get me wrong, there's a big hole in my life now that this game is like not out. But I would still argue it's better for them to cook all the way, release the game in open beta tomorrow, put a release date on the calendar which allows people to pre-order, and then come out with a fully baked product in the fall. So that's my prediction. Again, not necessarily a popular one, maybe not necessarily what I want it to be, but let me know in the comments what your predictions are. I mean, we're going to be showing up right now. It's about 24 hours away. It's 2:48 p.m. where I'm at right now. So we're looking at, and it's 3 o'clock my time tomorrow. So we're about 24 hours away when I'm going to post this video. Let me know what your thoughts are. We're going to be live streaming it here on the channel. When it goes live, I'm going to be giving away a couple copies of the game. So yeah, thanks for all the support on the channel lately. Sorry for the, I mean, I did a little graphic design at the beginning of this video, to be honest with you. But sorry, it's a little bit half-baked. But you'll have more mature, well-edited content coming in the future, at least if you think my existing content is well-mature and well-edited. So, all right, everybody, have a good day. Like, subscribe. We'll see you around. And yeah, hopefully we can all get our fix tomorrow, this weekend, play the beta, maybe a multiple week beta. We'll see what that looks like. All right, peace out.